Cow. The widow Mary lived with her mother and 6 children. They didn't have a lot of money, but they used their last money to buy a red cow, so they would have milk for the children. The oldest children took Brownie to the field to eat and gave her leftovers at home. One time, while the mother was away from home, the eldest son, Misha, climbed on the shelf looking for bread. He knocked over a glass and broke it. Misha was afraid that his mother would tell him off. So he got the large pieces of broken glass, took them into the yard, and buried them in the dung heap. But the little pieces he threw into the basin. The mother missed the glass and asked questions, but Misha said nothing, and so she forgot the whole thing. On the next day after dinner, the mother gave Brownie the leftovers from the basin. After that, she found that Brownie was in pain and did not want to eat her food anymore. They tried to give her medicine, and they called the old lady who cured animals. She said that the cow would not live. The best thing to do was to kill her for beef. They called the neighbors and they started hitting the cow to kill it. The children heard Brownie crying in the yard. They all climbed on the oven and began to cry too. After they killed Brownie, they took off the hide and cut her in pieces, and there in the throat they found a piece of glass, and so they discovered why she died. It was because of the glass in her food. When Misha heard this, he began to cry a lot and confessed to his mother that he broke the glass. The mother said nothing, but also cried. Then she said, "We have killed our Brownie, and we have no money to get another cow. How will the little ones live without milk?" Misha kept crying more and more, and didn't want to come down from the oven when they ate the cow's head. Every time when he slept, he saw in his dreams Uncle Vasily bringing the red cow by the horns with her wide eyes and bloody neck. From that time on, the children had no milk. Only on holidays they had milk when Maria asked her neighbors for a jar of it. It happened that the lady of that place needed somebody to take care of her children. Her child, one child. And the grandmother said to the daughter, "I will work for the lady, and maybe God will help you to take care of the children alone. And if God helps me, I will get enough money in a year to buy a cow." So they did. The grandmother went to the lady, but it was still harder for Maria and the children. The children lived a whole year without having milk. They just had vegetables to eat, and they became thin and pale. After the year was over, the grandmother came home bringing 20 rubles. "Well, daughter," she said, "now we will buy a cow." Maria, or Maria, was very happy. All the children were happy. Maria and the grandmother went to the market to buy their cow. They asked a neighbor to stay with the children, and they asked another neighbor, Uncle Zakar, to go with them and help them select the cow. After praying, they went to town. In the afternoon, the children kept running into the street to see if they could see the cow. They spent their time guessing what kind of cow she could be, red or black. They kept telling one another how they would feed her. All day long they waited and waited. They walked a mile to meet the cow, but as it was already getting dark, they turned back. Suddenly, they saw a cart coming on the road, and in it sat their grandmother, and beside the back wheel walked a black and white cow tied by the horn. And their mother was walking behind, urging her on with a dry stick. The children ran to them and began to examine the cow. They brought bread and grass and tried to feed her. The mother went into the cottage, changed her clothes, and went out with a towel and a milk bucket. She sat down under the cow and began to clean the udder. The Lord be praised. The cow gave milk, and the children stood around and watched the milk go into the bucket and listened to its sound under the mother's fingers. When the bucket was half full, she took it inside, and each of the children had a glass for dinner.